What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Wake Up Show. Wake up, wake up, wake up. You woke? I know I am. Alright, so today we watching Elliot Page. This video is on the outlet stores have been lying to everyone. Sound good? Let's see what they talk about.
Guys, today we got resellers actually getting banned. Nike outlet stores have been lying to you. And the oldest
Let me run that back real fast so y'all can see.
Guys, today we got resellers actually getting banned.
Target reseller policy. Target no longer sells to resellers. They're trying to make sure that their guests have a fair opportunity. Purchasers must be for personal use only. How do you know what I'm... Let's keep
The
going.
outlet stores have been lying to you. And the
Real fast. No, go.
This scam in the sneaker game is back. Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. Boy, do you not want to miss some of the stories in today's video. You might be shocked. But, like always, let's get into some releases that are right around the corner because some you may be actually really interested in. This one's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's just for you guys out in the US, but a 3D printed basketball shoe from Adidas is dropping on July the 14th. Now, it's going to be $250, but for that tech, it's kind of impressive. If you look at the very amount of 3D printed shoes that are on the market, a lot of them are pretty expensive, so seeing Adidas actually being able to push out this tech for, I guess, a more reasonable price comparative to other options, it's pretty cool. No idea how good these things are going to be, but they're heavily inspired by the Climate Clog thing that they did, which is also pretty impressive. But yeah, there you go. You guys can try this out. Let me know what you think. Veiled Pajama, which I'm a huge fan of. I really want to pick these things up. I think they did some kind of exclusive launch in Las Vegas. It was like a pop-up and some people got this shoe. Specifically, this is the launch colorway. I think it's going to be dropping August the 14th. However, there is another colorway, this pink one, which is going to be a China exclusive release, which is dropping at the end of July, the 31st. So this pair of shoes is rolling out. It's going to be available in a bunch of different colors. If you don't like the launch one, I wouldn't be too pressed because I think there's going to be so many amazing colorways on this model that if you just wait it out a little bit, you can find some bangers. And I think we've already seen leaks of a lot of them. July the 24th, we're getting the expensive $355 Air Jordan 8 Bin 23, another installment of the Bin 23 collection. These
Real fast. Them Ja 4s. Ja not missing, man. Like, sheesh. Let's go back real fast. Them Ja 4s is nice. How you outdo the Ja 3s?
veiled the Ja 4, which I'm a huge fan of. I really want to pick these things up. I think they did some kind of exclusive launch in Las Vegas. It was like
Are you popping those?
Some people got these shoes.
Whether you're a sneakerhead or not, you play basketball, you like to go run outside, would you play in these shoes right here? I would. I wonder what the price tag gonna be. Right now I'm hooping in my, you know what I mean, Anthony Edwards 2s. I like those coming over a ruptured Achilles, and those feel amazing on my Achilles and heel. All right, so we ain't really coming here for shoes. We gonna skim through this. StockX is, if you are a shoe head, StockX is dropping a mystery box. I don't know if you want to do that. You feel like that's a scam?
I'll let you know. But let's talk about one of the more, I guess, just sad stories of the week. StockX just dropped mystery boxes, and it's stories like this that is why I have so few sponsors on this channel. StockX has done a lot of work, and they've put a lot of different sponsors out for this rollout of these mystery boxes. Look, we got a post over here saying the mystery box you can't lose on is one of the oldest scams out there. Look, gambling in general is just so.
Now, not just say that. If I pay $100 and I don't get $100 worth of shoe or more, come on, bro.
I'm so tired of it in every single industry, and now it's back from the largest sneaker platform, I would say, and it's just sad to see. Now, the whole pitch by StockX is that this whole mystery box thing is like super trustworthy. Unlike traditional mystery boxes, StockX is designed for trust. The no lose-it-all outcomes, guaranteed minimum value. So that's the whole pitch, but I think that's also kind of the problem. It's like making it more like we're super trustworthy, and then they implement these things that are, I guess, to some degree are kind of good. Like you can see the odds on the mystery boxes on StockX, but just the inherent nature of a mystery box, it's a blind box. It's not just the
a 0.5 chance if you spend $800 to $2,000. 200 to 219, you get like some Yeezys, some J's, and some Air Max. Yeah, I know.
Inherent nature of a mystery box. It's a blind box. It's not transparent. Look, we have been through this. We have been through the mystery boxes were one of the biggest things in the sneaker world, and so many different companies came out and basically just scammed so many people. But somehow they're back in 2026. Maybe enough time has gone on and people have forgotten about these things. But the reality is like there's no way, even if I go through all of the details on how this works. It's like, you understand StockX is a company, they're making money off of this. There's a lot of benefits to them. And so the exact mechanics are, I guess, one, this is a great way for StockX to get rid of inventory that's just not selling, because again, the whole sneaker resale market is down right now. And then there's taking a lot off of the top. So they...
As you know, Nike was down 40% this year alone. 40% down over the year. Are you copping that stock or what's going on? Yeah. Are y'all into stocks? You up early, you should be into you. There gotta be something keeping you attention.
Thing where like they say that all of the boxes contain stuff that or items that are worth at least the purchase price, but that number is before fees, and of course the values are based off of StockX's data anyway. And then there's also the thing where they say that anything can instantly be sold back for 80 to 90% of its value, but you only get StockX credit, so it's like a circular system. You know, you can't pull your money out, you're not making money, it's all circular. So this whole like no loss thing, this idea of like transparency, it's just instead of doing the whole lose it all thing where it's like, hey, you could get nothing or you could win big, they're just doing it with transparency, but just skimming off the top off of every single one. Now, obviously, that's all of the negative thing, but I guess there is an argument for it just being something fun. What is it? What is the chance for one of these crazy pulls? Is 0.5% to get a pair of shoes that's $800 to $2,000. I don't know. That's always the appeal of gambling. Just be careful. Don't get sucked into this. This can get out of hand, and you're probably...
Okay, so I spit that wrong. That's the value you can get. In order to get a value of 800 to 2,000, you got a 0.5 chance. Okay. I'm not sure how much you have to spend to get that.
Just throw $500-$600 down the drain. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about all of this, and this is a great thing for everyone. Let me know your opinion down in the comments.
Maybe we both wrong about it, but I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not with the gambling, because what? You gonna get some shoes that might be the colorway you want? I can see if they say white pair of shoes and you're gonna get a white pair of shoes, or a white pair of hooping shoes, or a white, I mean, it's just kind of like you said, I feel like you're throwing money down the drain, yo. You might as well go take $500-$600 and go buy the shoes you want or stack for the shoes you want, because that hit or miss, better be.
But let's keep it moving. But speaking of StockX, we're going to talk about resellers, because...
Well, we came for resellers. Resellers been going crazy in the game, yo. People buying stuff just to resell it, hike the prices up. You buying shoes for triple the price. Retail is $150, $180, and they selling them for $300,000, $600,000, if not more. Soon, the big companies gonna get in on that and just start selling shoes for way more, yo.
I mean, they're going crazy right now. A little bit of breaking news from Target. They just banned U.S. resellers. So they put out these, I mean, if you don't know, like Target has been targeted specifically by Pokemon resellers, because that's where they all flood. They go and buy up a bunch of stock, and it pisses people off. So Target put out this new reseller policy, basically saying that they no longer sell to resellers. Purchases must be for personal use only. The quantity purchased should be reasonable for use in an average household. I think there's going to be workarounds. Resellers, if I know one thing about them, is they find a way around so many different things. And one of my next stories will show you why. But they're saying no overnight camping. Lines can only start 30 minutes prior to the store opening. No in-store lines. You'll be asked to wait outside. And then trespasses will be given if the staff now have some actual rules that they can stop stuff like this from happening, where someone comes in and just fills up like a cart full of Pokemon cards. But speaking about that, it gets even crazier, because resellers, I mean, we know the usuals, the sneakers, the AP Swatch collab things that they're reselling, the Pokemon cards, the squishies, but Resellers, what their newest thing that they've gone after is air conditioning units, specifically in the UK and Europe right now. There's a heat wave.
Before we go there,
air conditioning like.
Before we go there, real fast, back to the resellers. Another place resellers have been heavy in is Goodwill, yo. Goodwill and thrift stores. There's a lot of people going in there and reselling free stuff. I mean, not free, but cheap stuff. Even Goodwill themselves is a reseller, believe it or not. You go donate your stuff to Goodwill, and you'll find some shoes for $50 to $100 in Goodwill. You'll find a jacket for $60 that they got for free in Goodwill, just because of the name brand. And I found out that they actually will go on eBay and see what they're selling for, and they'll price it for a reasonable price based off that, versus all jackets should be $15. All this should be this much, you know what I mean? But that's been going on for years, and there's people who actually every day going to these thrift stores and getting what you was trying to give away to somebody. You trying to help somebody out. Yeah, they getting it for a third of the price, but if I couldn't afford $60, $100 coat, I probably will get it new. But they making it hard for people to actually go in and buy and get stuff who actually need it. You don't believe me? Go into a Goodwill, and then they open at 9 a.m. Go into a good Goodwill where you got good stuff, and I bet you do it multiple times in a week, you're going to see the same person in there sitting around and waiting for that stuff to come out. But back to Target real fast. If you go to Target, we all know that Target is the upscaled Walmart, right? You're getting quality stuff for cheaper prices. But the thing about Target and Walmart, customer service. Walmart customer service is very low tier. I don't care what nobody say. You go in there, you pretty much on your own. And the thing about Walmart is everything is locked up in cages now. So you gotta push that button and wait. You go to Target, nothing locked in cages, but the prices are higher. I'm not sure if the quality is better, but they selling different brands at a higher price, usually. So Target is doing this because this is all about, let me get that out the way.
They go and buy up a bunch of stock, and it pisses people off. Bunch of stock.
They doing this because Target customer service, yo. They don't want somebody to come in there and be bombarded by Walmart shoppers. Somebody who just running through the store, pushing people out the way. No real, you know what I mean, what they call civilization. No civilized people. They running in there taking stuff, arguments popping off, people fighting in the stores. So I think it's pretty smart for Target to address this. Because if it was Walmart, it's all over shit. There'll be fights in there every day. But another thing about Target is just because you make a sign doesn't make it law. How can you tell if somebody is going to use it for personal use? Or how can you tell if somebody, maybe I personally got about 10 nephews and nieces. So if I want to buy each one of them a Pokemon pack, how can you tell me that I'm not? Unless you make a generalized rule where each person can only get a certain number, which I'm sure they're going to do. They said 30-minute, you're going to wait out line, no overnight camping, and you're going to stay outside about 30 minutes prior to the store opening, and they'll trespass you and stuff like that. So they really cracking down on it, but it's like, how can you really, they trying, right? How y'all feel about that? For the resellers and the people who's actually Target buyers. Because Target, man, every day, they in Target shopping. All right, let's get back to these ACs. In Britain, I believe he said.
Europe right now, there's a huge heat wave. Nobody has air conditioning like you guys out in the US. So resellers.
Real fast. I also heard in Europe, they were saying like when they get hot outside, this is a cultural difference. When they get hot outside in the US, people go inside, turn the AC on. When they get hot outside in Europe, people go outside, which makes sense. But, time versus money.
Cleared out inventory. This is a sneaker reseller, but he shows off like his disc. Resellers have cleared out inventory. This is a sneaker reseller, but he shows off like his Discord group. They've got like trucks filled with different fans and air conditioning units that they're reselling online for people who are struggling in their homes in the heat. It's pretty insane what resellers will end up reselling. This is what I'm saying. Like, even though Target can implement all of these new things, I think resellers will find a way around all of this. This is also the same guy that was reselling or going to the cinema and buying up a bunch bunch of popcorn buckets, the Toy Story 5 popcorn buckets, because those things were reselling. These resellers are so tapped in. I never thought, I figured Toy Story 5 popcorn bucket could be resold, but they will know and they will find a way to clear out the stock. It's pretty insane, but yeah, just, I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section, should more stores put different policies in place to stop stuff like this from happening? Or do you think it's just a losing battle? Couple new
I will say that's nostalgia. Anything can be resold. If you really pay attention as you get older, more wiser, a lot of things aren't coming back out with that quality. Cars quality getting worse, TVs quality getting more advanced, and not whatever phones. You know, the battery ain't coming out the back, and you can't put an SD card in it, and you can't plug a microphone in it anymore. You know, MP3 players. No longer can you have all your music in your phone. Everything is streaming, and once you stop paying that stream, you lose everything. I lost plenty of music, plenty of times through these streaming sites. Hundreds and hundreds of songs that I haven't heard in forever because I keep switching streams, paying too much for these streams, in my personal opinion. So I think it is smart to start collecting some stuff, but on a personal level as well. I do want to mention on that StockX doing these mystery boxes. I do want to say, like I said before, I do think it's scammy, very scammy. I feel like a raffle would be better. Maybe you put $25 in, or you put a certain amount of money in, and then you can win something of higher value, guaranteed, because it's a win-win, right? If they're trying to get rid of their inventory and their stock, why not sell it at discounted prices, just like the resellers are doing with the shoes, and then you can make some of your money back. At least you'll break even, you know, or something like that. So, all right, let's get to these outlet stores.
Anything insane. Last up, it'll be interesting to try them out, but honestly, I'm not expecting anything insane. Last up, let's
get to these outlet stores.
About outlet stores. This was a really interesting piece of information that I found out about a week ago that I had no idea, but it's like an industry thing that is always been the case. Basically, are outlet stores a scam? So I made this video going over some of the details.
With Base 44,
because me personally, I love a deal. Who doesn't love a steal, whatever you want to call it, a meal? Who doesn't love a deal? Let's get to these outlet stores.
Are outlet stores a scam? So I made this video going over some of the details because I was like, man, everyone should kind of know this. If you've been to an outlet store and you bought something and you thought you got this crazy steal, potentially you didn't. Now, some of you may know this, but it's also not very well known because a lot of these brands try to keep this a secret. So when you go to an outlet mall or some kind of outlet place, the products that are in these outlet stores aren't just discounted old inventory. For the most part, they're actually products that are specifically made for the outlet. That's lower quality stuff that are supposed to be these lower price points. But because it's this outlet, they kind of position it as these crazy steals of like old products, and that's where you go to get some of the, you know, craziest discounts and stuff that you can't find anywhere else. So they call this MFO, made for outlet products. And like I showcase here, like this is a news story from like back in the day where they actually like bought the outlet pieces and compared them side by side. Like here's a retail one and here is an outlet one. It's cheaper, but it's also inferior quality. In 2016, Nike faced a $5 million class action lawsuit kind of around this topic. The lawsuit states that Nike misrepresented the existence, nature, and amount of price discounts on products sold in Nike outlet stores by purporting to offer discounts off of a false suggested retail price. So when you go to a Nike outlet, you'll always see like suggested retail price and then the price that it is now, they'll say like our price. But if the product was made for the outlet, then the the retail price doesn't really exist. The discount doesn't exist. So that's what this lawsuit kind of claimed. In 2014, Congress members called on the FTC to investigate the deceptions at outlet stores because, again, they're kind of making these products seem like they're these crazy discounts. You're getting like 70% off of a Coach product. Like, wow, of course I'm going to buy it. But really, it's just a lower quality product that they're just putting there and saying, and kind of, saying it's the same as the mainline stuff. Now, when I tried to do research on this, there was not that much out there. So I think it's kind of one of those hidden stories. I tried to dig back and find an SEC filing from Coach, which is this is their financial reporting. And if you scroll down here, they talk about their different business segments. And if you go to the North American outlet stores, they literally say Coach's outlet stores serve as an efficient means to sell manufactured for outlet products and to a lesser extent discounted and irregular inventory. So there's a few websites that kind of have some information on this. I thought this was very interesting. The Nike factory store versus Nike outlet or clearance store kind of thing. That's an important differentiation. This is actually a pretty good article that kind of went to a lot of these stores and actually asked them what they're selling. So if you go down, you can choose all of these different brands and you can see you go to Coach, and based off of their little investigation, their verdict is a mix of made for outlet goods and mainline store clearance stuff. So it's a little bit of a mixture, which again kind of blurs the line because they have some stuff that is clearance or discounted stuff that kind of keeps this whole thing a secret. Some people will go there and buy some crazy discounts, and then most people will go there because I think according to some numbers 80% of the stuff in these stores is made for outlet. They'll go there and they'll buy these inferior pieces thinking that they got a great deal, but really it's just lower, cheaper quality stuff sold at their retail price technically. But yeah, they got a list of all of these different things and saying most of them are made for outlets. Some have full price items at a clearance. But also knowing this, it kind of makes the whole thing a little bit sketchy because how do you know that they just didn't switch manufacturers and make a bunch of cheap stuff like that time when all of these Air Force Ones were being sold at outlets? How do you know they didn't just make those way less quality, dirt cheap, and then just put them in the outlet? Now that we know this, it's hard to kind of the line is so blurred. I don't know. I thought this was super interesting. I'd love to know what you think down in the comment section. Did you already know this? Drop your thoughts down there.
This is America. I will say that, yo. This is America. Everybody is scamming. So you telling me everybody trying to come up, you're telling me that they're making the same stuff at a lower quality on purpose to send it over to the outlets, MFO made for outlets. But my thing is why wouldn't you just sell the overstock to the outlets, which makes sense? So it's to each his own, because I do hear a lot of the Jordans that they don't think will sell for such higher prices will go straight to the outlets, or if they sit on the shelf long enough, they'll go to the outlets, which makes sense to me. But if you're making them at a lower quality just for the outlets, that is a scam, yo. You gotta tell us that. We shouldn't. I feel like a lot of stuff in America, man, they don't say nothing about it until you point it out. And then once you point it out, they'll make a rule where you gotta be like, okay, we will. Now we gotta tell you. Now cigarettes must be labeled that it can cause cancer or it does cause cancer. Why you just don't put that on at first? You hear me? And real fast, on a different thought, the World Cup is here in America, right? So a lot of people, read an article that a lot of people from overseas, they had to import a lot of food over here just because they're not messing with the food from America. And whether you know it or not, a lot of food from America is banned in overseas in different countries because of the ingredients. If you go start looking into stuff like that, a lot of the foods that are over here and over there, they got different ingredients. My pops was just in Spain. He said the McDonald's it look amazing. McDonald's look amazing out here. I was like, man, I never seen that. So I do want us to start waking up and start looking at the overseas stuff. Let's see how they doing stuff over there. What they into. So just a quick little summary to run it back. We got the outlet stores scamming. Make sure you check that quality. Make sure you researching your brand and I could believe Nike. I believe Nike scamming. I ain't gonna hold you. It don't make no sense. So I do believe that they probably got a whole different manufacturer making the same shoe for cheaper and sending it straight to the outlets. I feel like that's a lose though, because if you don't sell out in the regular stuff, It's a lose-lose. If you don't sell out in the regular stuff, you got overstock. If you don't sell out in the regular stuff and you don't sell out in the made for outlet stuff, you got way more overstock. And the other lose is you got your product up out here looking crazy and people not liking your product. If they buy it from the outlet first, they're not gonna buy it from the store because the quality was trash. And another lose, people who got the real the real and people who got the outlet stuff, when they see each other, they're gonna be calling one or another fake. Like, you're killing your brand with that. Suggested retail is all about illusions, yo. They want you to be like, these go for $60, but everybody loves a deal. $60, but I get them for $20. And they Nike, and they North Face, and they, come on, everybody loves a deal and qualities. I don't know if everybody loves quality, but everybody loves a deal. Come on, yo. And a lot of people need deals. So we said the outlets selling lower quality stuff, some places. That was called Consumer's Checkbook. Go check that out and check into your brand, yo. Goodwill, been scamming. If you do thrift shopping, check out some of these locally owned thrift stores. And if you're donating, check out some of these locally owned thrift stores, because help out them, yo. Goodwill getting too big, in my opinion. Places like Goodwill, allegedly, are getting too big, and they just reselling stuff just like StockX. Going back, StockX is selling mystery boxes, which seem like a scam, allegedly. All this is allegedly. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you're paying attention. Paying attention. Resellers versus the world. Target is no longer accepting resellers, but just because you make a sign does not make it law. But you can create some rules to follow up. You know? We also have, you know, Europe is catching up with the resellers. They taking that American culture. Not taking it, but, you know, borrowing that American culture, and everybody reselling now. And the new jobs, man, the jobs look good. I ain't gonna hold you. The jobs look good. I ain't got nothing to do with it, but the job, who got the best lineup? It seemed like the best lineup is job, man. The 3s, 4s. I forget what the 2s look like. Blase. Oh, I did want to mention these Adidas. 3D printed shoes for $250. What are they printing them out of? Is it quality? I haven't been keeping up with the 3D printed shoes. I'm gonna have to look more into this, but $250 for some shoes from a printer. It gotta be printed with is it printed with leather? What is it printed with for real, yo? And how does that material hold up over the years of 10 years, 5 years, things like that? So don't just buy into the hype, y'all. This is the Wake Up Show. I'm Ezey the Eyez. These are my thoughts. Just make it make sense. See you in the next one.